One of the harder crossovers to guard was that DC crossover. If everybody remember the DC crossover, it kind of was high and it shifted. And listen, Allen Iverson, Tyreek Turner, Curtis Staples, all the Virginia boys made the DC crossover.
I remember that.
Along with DC made it, but the cross used to be up here. And I don't, it
was something crazy.
I can't even articulate.
Just lean this way.
It was a weird
because nobody was doing it like that.
Nobody was doing it like this, but Jamal
from the
Mashburn.
DC Cats, right?
When Allen Iverson came in town, nobody knew who it was. And we stayed together all the time, working out, trying to get him that crossover, that DC crossover and everything. When we was playing street ball, playing with these guys, people knew who Bubba Chuck was in DC before he even started playing in Georgetown.
Bubba Chuck, it's showtime.
Before there was AI, there was Kenny Anderson. He had the crazy handle. AI learned from Kenny Anderson, and he said, well, I come in the game, I'm going to be an even crazier handle. So he...
No, I first learned the crossover at Georgetown. I had a teammate, Dean Barry, and man, I had to guard him at practice. He was a walk-on player. He used to hit me with it all the time, every day. And, you know, at some point, my ego, I'm not going to ask this guy how to teach me how to do it. But at some point, I was like, man, the move is so vicious. I got to ask him.
The first time the crossover came was, you know, it came in stages. Who has a better crossover, Dean Barry or Allen Iverson? Yeah, you ask Allen, he'll probably say him. But, you know, the student can never beat the teacher.
I have the best crossover by far, ever. Because I put it on that platform, on the biggest stage ever.
When I got to DC, everybody all about cross notes. Everybody went cross. People will go to a game, and if somebody get cross, everybody run on the floor. Everybody just waiting for somebody to get crossed over. That's how it is in DC. Everybody wanted to cross it out.
He was 2 years older than me, but he had this crossover. And like the crossover was like, it was like, you know, that was, you know, crossover, he just go in and out and he bring it back this way.
Yes,
so
he did.
Yes,
indeed.
That's all I would do. I practice and try to get that person. But then I saw this guy right here. He changed my life right here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, first time I saw Kurt was up at AU, American University. And then we played together later on in Boston a couple years. And man, after that Boston shootout, man, I remember, man, I'm at home practicing. Now I'm learning how to dance with the ball a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I learned that from watching him. You know what I'm saying? He was like ahead, because back then people were just basic with it. You know, they weren't, and so
they were checking the basketball back then. They wasn't herky jerky.
Exactly. So that was.
But that through the legs you had, though, dude, people couldn't stay in front of you. When y'all used to yank it before they started trying to change the look, you and AI had the craziest crossover. Because you used to do a full speed off the dribble. It was natural. It was so.
I was trying to be like him.
It was succinct. It was natural.
People know who you are. So I came in. So it was funny. We talking about handling the ball and all that. So my senior year, I played point. I know. Remember? Yeah. And I didn't really dance with it because you know back then, big guys like Magic, Steve Smith that played at Michigan State.
Shout out to Steve Smith.
Yeah, no doubt. They kind of backed you down. Like, you know, Walt used to play with it. Walt would play with it.
Yeah.
And so that summer, man, we were playing pickup ball, and Quinn Snyder, who's now the head coach of Utah, he had coached in the league with Larry Brown the year before. And he was like, yo, you don't have to back down. You can handle the rock. Like, play people face up. And come downhill. So when I got to the league, like my first 10, 15 games.
Slim, you was downhill,
my first 15 games, like I'm telling folks, like all my boys, I'm like, man, this is easy. Like I'm literally,
space. What was it?
It was like you on an island, so it's 1-on-1.
It was better for you,
and like you had small forwards who weren't used to guarding somebody who could handle the ball. Right. And so it take you a minute.
DC is the spot, man. If you don't know, but ask somebody. Wake up and pay attention. You roll up, unroll any map. There's a little red star right on DC. They know what time it is. They still our music, still our style, still our language, stole the crossover. You know what I mean? They know what time it is. DMV.
And then he set his sights on McGinnis.
I had hit a few shots, so I knew I had it going. I remember him pressuring me in front of their bench, put him on my hip, and I went to spin off, and I just crossed it over and went. And I remember seeing him try to kick me as he was falling down.
Oh, my. What a crossover there. He shakes and bakes, and Jeff McGinnis goes down to the floor, and there's Randolph looks at him and motions for him. Get up right as he drains another three over his head.
Oh, man.
Little salt in the wound there.
I remember Coach Smith behind me. He can't do that. That's taunting. That's taunting.
Fall down, son. I'll give you a chance to get up. Oh, are you kidding?
I was just so mad with Jeff because of the comment he had made a few, early in the season about knowing that we choked.
That's what you call breaking the guy's ankle. And then he busted his chops. Right.
If Stackhouse didn't run for me, I would have waited for him to come back. I would have let him get up and come back. Just to say, I'm going to do it again, and you can't guard me.
Season, of course, when the Rockets had 14 wins. He had Troy Hudson turning round and round like a top. Steve Francis putting on a show, a new season and career high 34 points for Steve Francis.
Hey, talking to me like I'm the kindergarten. Come on. She's on mine, tomorrow she's on his. Come on. Worry about me because I know what time it is. Come on, DMV's in the house. Hey, DMV's in the house. Hey, DMV's in the house.